reporting on the games you love by people who love to game. The MMO Reporter Network.
Hey, this is Frost. You're listening to WildStar Reporter. Thanks for checking it out. Boom.
You're listening to WildStar Reporter on the MMO Reporter Network. Brought to you by GoDaddy. Get your new domain or transfer for only $2.95. Guild Launch. Slay more dragons with Guild Launch. And by Doghouse Systems. Choose your weapon at doghousesystems.com. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of WildStar Reporter. This is episode 7. The close of the first beta weekend is upon us, and we are going to talk about the latest news since the last show. And while we're doing the show this week, I thought that I'd give you a little bit of a tour of Thade and give you a little bit of a view of the Exiles capital city. It is very much in the style of the Exiles. It is a really open place. Not a lot of structure. It looks like sort of everybody plopped down the stuff where they wanted it to go rather than having any sort of big design plan, which when we get to the Dominion side of things, you'll see on that'll be another show. You'll see that things are a little bit different over there. So here we are. We're going to take a look at things. As I'm running around here, you'll notice this is the taxi stand. This is most likely where you'll first come into Thade. It's a fairly big city here, but we're going to take a look around all the different parts, working our way from north down to south. So let's talk first about what I've been doing in-game this week. First of all, I'm going to take off that god-awful helmet because it looks like crap. The few helms that I've gotten at the start here have not been super fantastic. They haven't really looked all that great, so I'm just going to turn that off. But you can see I'm really starting to get some pretty decent armor looks here. It's a lot of fun. I'm just going to turn off my my guild emblems as well because they haven't gotten that finished yet. And by that I mean my guild, not Carbine. So we're taking a look around here. This is the travel area of Thade. And it's a pretty cool little zone here. You've got a few different quests and stuff. You've also got some travel ports to get to some of the different parts of Nexus and off Nexus all around here. So this is a real travel hub for the game. For this week, I've been continuing through Whitevale. I didn't get as much chance to play as I would have loved to due to a wife who wasn't feeling well as myself sort of putting out my neck a little bit, which wasn't a lot of fun. But anyways, so that's basically what I've been doing. I've been having a lot of fun getting through that zone. And if you look, I spent most of the weekend in there, and I got, 2/3. These zones are huge, and I kind of like that. And I'm being somewhat completionist. You can see I'm not leaving a lot of quests behind. I've got a few more than in the area that I'm working on, but overall, I'm not leaving too much behind. So let's move things along to the news. The Protostar Newsletter. All right, and the Protostar Newsletter is going to start coming to you here from Academy Corner. Here you've got a lot of scientists, obviously, of the Exiles working their way down here, and I'll talk about what that offers to players in just a minute. First of all, though, we're going to get talking about the news. The first one is that players who have been going into game every day on this particular beta weekend and any future beta weekends will be getting some mystery boxes. CRB Scooter mentioned this on the forums, and I'll have a link, of course, in the show notes where you can take a look at that. And basically he says, for every day you log into the game between now and launch, during pre-order weekends as well as open beta, You will receive 3 mystery boxes at launch for every day. These boxes contain a random assortment of possible goodies, including XP buffs, unique runes, weapons, housing items, unique costumes, mounts, and more. There's no limit to the number of boxes you can earn between now and launch, but you have to log in each day of the beta if you want to be counted. We'll have more details on the website in the near future about what the specific items you can earn are. Until then, just keep logging in to earn more mystery boxes. And by the way, for those of you who are wondering, days are defined by midnight UTC in case you want to keep track. Google is your friend. What time is it now, UTC? This is just a couple different things in here in Academy Corner. You've got your guild stuff that's over here, as well as some different flasks that you can buy here. But these are, of course, for the reputation items. So that is Academy Corner. We'll keep moving things along here. There's not tons of news, of course, in this week because it is a short week since the last show, so there's not a lot. By the way, these friendly, fine gentlemen here, these Thade guardsmen, they're your friends. You'll see above them here. Click on them. They're like guards in WoW. You can find out where you want to go, and they will help you out. So, this is one, I am sure that this little depot here in Thade will be constantly left open in, not left open, but filled up once the game goes live, as it is now, because you get XP, you get Path XP every time somebody uses your little item stand there. So if I were to put anything into there, and my resources were used in any way, then I would get XP. So whoever made these things is getting XP in the game. So there you go, that's that. Let's take a look at some of the different mounts here while we're running around as well. Hi, this is the Equivar, and I did put out a mount video that you can check out as well. So, let's take a look. Where are we going to go from here? Let's, we already went, let's go up to the Mysterious Ruins. So let's go this way, and we'll make our way up to the Mysterious Ruins, which I'm totally going to get lost. That's okay. I get lost in all capital cities. It's normal. It's my own damn fault. So, next piece of news. We do have some patch notes for this current beta weekend's patch, which isn't going to do much good because this podcast is going to be let out afterwards, but they did make a few fixes. First of all, you might have noticed in some of the earlier streams and in last week's show that on the hoverboard, whenever I was going around, sometimes it would snap underneath the hoverboard and get me a really bad angle. Like if you're looking at the live version right now, like way down here underneath stuff. But it would snap to the, instead of my character, which it is now, you can see I'm rotating around my character, it would snap underneath the hoverboard, so it was really, really hard to see. So I didn't really like that at all. They fixed that. They also replaced the missing stair in Junction Zeta Bunker in Celestion, but I noticed I was doing another, I bugged this, I don't remember exactly where it was, but I was doing another sort of little mini cave, and the ramp going up to the second level was missing. I must have spent a half hour trying to figure out a way to get up to that top area, but I really couldn't figure it out until finally I saw some NPCs walking in midair. Duh. That probably was why. Mysterious Ruins here. We're checking out the Mysterious Ruins. Pretty cool area here. Fixed numerous crashes from builds. Of course, they're fixing builds, bug crashes and stuff like that. They changed the location of the patch server, which I'll have a link in the show notes if you want to take a look at exactly what they're talking about there, because some people were having issues with patching, so they've changed that. They also fixed a bug where the abilities telegraphs were not previewed when holding their assigned keys, so you can take a look at what your holograph looks like by holding it. And I was having that a little bit with my leap ability, that one. When I was holding it, that little telegraph, which you can see if you're watching the live version now, wasn't showing up. What I would often do is I'd run in and I'd kind of aim it like this and then let go to set it off, but that wasn't working. And I wasn't sure if it was a bug or if it was just me because I was in White Veil, and you know, hey, White Veil is white and those telegraphs are not exactly dark colored, so So there you go. That's that. And also, they rented light reach hover bikes can no longer be used in PvP instances, dungeons, and adventures. So some bikes that you could rent were able to be spawned inside those instanced areas. They've changed that. You can't do that anymore. So that's good. No more hover bikes in PvP right now, although that would be kind of cool. And if you remember, if you go back, search back, I'll see if I can remember to put a note to this in the patch notes. But search back to Harry Hall's interview with Carbine from Gamescom last year, and you'll be able to see that. Oh, this is the old zone here. Look at that. Hi, Rockridge Hollow. So he asked them about vehicular combat in PvP, and they said they were kind of hinted that they were thinking about it, and then quickly retracted that statement, unfortunately. So that's too bad. And then the last couple of ones here fixed an issue where certain amps would cause the vendor end UIs to constantly redraw itself. Oops. That's not good. And then now the launcher has an English EULA players must agree to. So I'm sure they'll internationalize that, localize that soon. Now, the biggest piece of news I kind of saved for last here because I just really, really loved it. This is fantastic. A user on Reddit, and this is going all over the place now, has posted the raid sets of all the armor. And oh my goodness, they all look so amazing. I cannot believe how great they look. So let's take a look at that here. This is one of the engineer armors. If you're looking at it on the live stream, wow, or on the video on YouTube, this is just freaking amazing. I love how this looks. It makes me want to play an engineer badly. So we've got that. We've got another engineer raid set, and it's got some different textures and some different customization options that you could have here. So the engineer here with the smiley face, that looks freaking amazing. That is some great raid sets of armor. Going through as well, we've got the another engineer, the Esper ones. Very cool. I think I like the first one here, the focal one, more than the bug one. I don't really love the bug one. To me, that's not super awesome. The medics, the one with the, I guess, for lack of a better word, sombrero, I don't really like those ones. However, the one that looks like a suit of space armor, the final one, the Medic Raid 002, I'm not sure that's the official name, those look great. And it's nice to see something that's not going to be heavy armor look awesome. Very, very neon with all of these, although the engineer was a little bit more muted than other ones. Looking at some more here. Now, here's the thing. Spellslayer wearing medium armor. This is finally a game where medium armor doesn't look like crap. In so many games, the medium armor just looks horrible. And I found, you know, this is something that really bugged me in Rift, in Guild Wars 2. There's only really one set of armor in Guild Wars 2 that I like. That's the Citadel Flame. I don't like any other stuff for heavy. I find it boring. Boring as all heck. So, you know, it's not for me. So having all these different armors, the light, the medium, all that stuff look great. That's really, really cool, and that's kind of important for me. So I'm really happy that they made an effort to make everything look good. More Spellslinger stuff, of course, a very cowboyish theme here with the Spellslinger. Although I'm not quite sure about this bandolier chest piece here that they have in one of them. I don't think that looks so great. Stalker looking awesome as well. Just really well put together. Some great flares to the shoulders, and just everything is covered except for that one stupid bandolier chested armor piece. I hope these are the same for the for female and male characters, that they didn't make things more how shall we put it, skimpy on the female characters. Very good devil horns there on the Stalker armor. Looking pretty cool. And then, of course, the warrior armor. One of the things, and I told this story to Bill, my co-host on MMO Reporter and longtime friend, and we play a lot of games together, that one of my first memories of WoW is going into Iron Forge. and I made a dwarf hunter, of course, and going in there and creating that character and running up to Ironforge and seeing those wonderful shoulder pieces on the dwarf guardsmen that were there and wanting that. And I never really got that. In my rating, I got some pretty cool stuff, and I started to really like it. But it never quite hit the point of those really awesome shoulders on the mages. Not the mages, the guards. I'm still working on the whole streaming and talking at the same time here. But so that's the warrior sets in here. And then finally, I mean, this is freaking awesome. It'll be wonderful to see these in effect and see any particle effects or anything like that they have on them, because that would be really cool if they glowed or pulsed or something like that. Killer on the system. I think I like that one the best, the first or the second there. Both of those are pretty darn cool. So, yeah, I'm impressed. I'm overjoyed at the way all those looks, and I hope that that you will really like them as well, because I can't be the only one who loves them so much. I'd love to hear what you think. All right, next part of our Thade tour here, going back here to this middle section here, up to our sort of northeast section of Thade is where you're going to find all your crafting stuff. All the crafting stations that you need, including rune crafting, is all in here. So you can talk to all your trainers, buy all the mats that you need. All that stuff you can take care of right in here. So you can keep yourself busy. It is the sort of a little bit higher up from Academy Corner. So it's a cool little spot. Everything is all together, which is nicely done. All right, let's continue on our tour here and move on to the Advice Nexus. The Advice Nexus.
And now it's time
this
for
week's
Advice
Advice
Nexus.
For those of you who
This
haven't
is
watched
probably
going to
get the most views of any
do all the
video we've
Advice
ever done
Nexus
for WildStar,
separately,
because it deals with one of my biggest pet peeves: how to find the right starter zone. Now, you, as an exile, we're going to start here. You get this quest, you hand it in, it tells you to go one way. So let's try going somewhere else. Just try that, because that's what people said to do. Nope, can't go here. Can't change the quest. Well, let's try another spot. No, can't go here either. That's not going to work. Nothing with the quest telling you can go somewhere different. Just tells you to go to the one quest giver. Well, let's try this one. See where it goes. This is a new bridge. Wasn't here during the beta. To Thade. Wait, hold on. What? You can go to Thade? Well, you can't, but there's a departure for Thade? Possible bonus later down the road for veteran characters, maybe? Okay, so here we are. What you got to do is you got to hand in your quest here, and then go up and click on this thing, click on no, and you don't even have to do this part, but I just did it to show here. No, click on no, and then run back, and you can go back to that orange ship, and you can start in the other starter zone. So you and your friends can all decide to start in the same zone. But it's very important. Once you take that ship down to Nexus, you can't go to the other zone until about level 15. You can, but it's a pain. So this is the only way to start in the same area. So here you go, you jump in and you head on down to the exile side of things. So it's pretty simple. Make sure that you get the quest, hand in the quest, because this little platform there won't be active until you've handed in your quest where you're supposed to, and then you can run across. So here we go, pretty little ship going down to Nexus, and now we're going to go over to the Dominion side and show you the same thing. It's basically the same idea, but I just wanted to walk you through it to make sure that there weren't any issues or anything like that. So here's my derpy little Chua, of course, running in. And same idea, right? Very similar layout. Hand in the quest here, get your loot, equip your loot, close your dialogues, get the quest. Make sure you get the quest. That's important. Go to where you're supposed to go, which is over here. hand in your quest to this dude here. That unlocks all the transports, but don't click on this one. That's going to send you to one zone. If you want to go with the one with your friend, you have to run all the way down to the other end. And you're going to get on this ship. So there you go. If you want to figure out how to get to the starter zone that you want to, that's how you do it. It's kind of a pain, but easy once you've figured it out. It took me closed beta and a beta weekend to figure it out myself, so don't feel bad if it took you a while too.
The Nexus Hub. All right. So for this week's Nexus Hub, we're going to start with a really, really great blog that has just started up called Medicating Nexus. I really like this blog. It's a really well put together medic blog, and my favorite post on it so far is talking about the difference between healing for shields versus health, and the difference between the two health pools. I'll give you the too long didn't read. Basically, as long as your health is above or equal to your shield, then either healing, either health or shield, is equally as worthwhile. However, the minute the health gets below your shield amount, you want to start focusing on your health healing. So the math is all laid out though, so you really want to check out this blog. Obviously, this person knows what they're talking about and is a fantastic writer as well. Really easy to read. Very great to understand the medic a little bit more. I'm still trying to decide between the Esper and the medic for my Healy character, because I'm going to have my tank. That's going to be my main. But I'm still trying to decide for my Healy character, because I'm going to have a DPS and heals as well. So you'll want to check that out. That is a really, really cool blog. I'll have a link for you in the show notes, but it's pretty simple. It's at medicatingnexus.com. The next thing that I want to show you here is actually a really cool video that was put together by Game Zone Online, and this is an overview of war plots. And while we're looking at that here, by the way, we are in the tunnels in the middle of Thade here. So this is a really great, not only is the video great because it talks about war plots, but first of all, it's got tons of hamster balls, the Chua mounts. It describes how war plots work. It describes, not only that, it gives you some examples of that. It talks about some different strategies and what you're going to want to try to do, including don't fight alone, which in a 40 versus 40 fight is a really, really great point. You don't want to ever fight alone. It's a video well worth watching. I really enjoyed it, and I think that you would as well. It's nice when videos are put together in a way that that puts out a lot of information but is entertaining as well. So you get to see some great PvP as well as find out all about war plots. So you can check it out there. I'll have a link to that in the show notes. And the last bit of our community news here is an article written by my good friend Justin Olivetti, aka Sibster at Massively. He wrote an article basically talking about the 10 reasons why he is looking forward to WildStar. The first of which, that he really likes having a science fiction MMO in his sort of pool of games that he plays, and I agree. It's nice to have something other than your typical fantasy game, which is really cool. Second point, he says he really digs the pulp sci-fi western sort of theme to it and the vibe to it, and I agree. That's just fantastic. And I feel it more strongly on the Exile side than I do on the Dominion side, but I haven't played as much Dominion stuff as I have played Exile stuff, so maybe that's just that. It's really dang funny, and it doesn't rely on poop quests to be funny. That's okay, that was my addition at the end. No, he does say it's really funny. I agree, lots of jokes. the Dominion starter zones I do find are funnier in the same way that like Starship Troopers is funny. You know, looking at that sort of autocratic society and very top-down sort of thing, and people living within it, that sort of way. I find it funny in that way. The fourth point that he wants to make here is that the pass system is really intriguing for him, and I agree. Although I really see the usefulness of the settler, I don't see necessarily too much usefulness in the soldier, although I see the fun in it. I see the usefulness in the explorer and the scientist. More the scientist because of the bonuses that you can get. But really, I think most people are probably going to test out the settler first. And that'll be the path that is picked the most by new players coming into the game. His fifth point, the lore is engrossing, and I definitely agree with that. There are so many lore points in here that you can figure out. As I'm running around here, you can get all sorts of different little books that you can pick up and then read, the datacrons that are there. All that sort of stuff is just really, really lore heavy, and you can find out so much about the game. It's fantastic. And the world of Nexus and the factions. The music is amazing. Wow, this is one where I just can't agree more with him. It's just something that Jeff Kurtenacker has just done an amazing job with this soundtrack. It's something that I can easily listen to. Both just the writing of it, the scoring of it. I love the fact that it's actually recorded with real instruments. As a musician myself, and I'm actually a music teacher in my day job, it's something that I find really, really challenging to listen to when a game's music is mostly done through MIDI. That's really tough for me. Not because I'm a snob, but because I guess I can just hear the fake values of it, the sort of fake instrument, the synth instruments. They really, really bug me. I am in an area right now, by the way, before I get on to the next point, I'm just going to show you, for all of you who are interested, where to buy your mounts, because I'm right in that area right now. Shopkeeper Vic. So if you look down here, it's right here at the bottom. You see this T intersection here? It's just right to the right here in Fortune's Ground. And it is where you want to go to buy your mount. And you can buy all the Exile mounts here. I'll show you. There you go. All those mounts. And then your riding skill upgrades at level 40%. Increases your riding skill speed. Yay, increased riding speed. Next thing to do. There's always something to do. Agreed. Between ship hands and instances and questing and crafting and housing. Which is his 8th point. Oh my gracious, the housing. The housing is amazing in this game. And this is one of the things so far in the beta. I've been so focused on leveling. I wish I had more time to check out the housing, but I'm just so engrossed in the questing and the leveling and all that sort of stuff that I want to do that. I don't want to spend hours in the housing. I want to spend hours questing and fighting and doing all that stuff. Not because the housing is crap. I have started my housing stuff, and we'll teleport up there now. I'll show you where that is in a minute. But just because I haven't had the time. So here's my little housing plot. Very, 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 very basic so far. I get more XP, though, by logging out here, which is really, really cool. And the next point, 9th point, second to last point, penultimate point, he says, I appreciate the emphasis on customization. And there's a lot of customization. I mean, my guy looks a little bit like a clown. You could very much compare this to Outland in WoW. But I could dye all this stuff and make it look like it looks and fits together, which would be really, really cool. But the mounts are customizable. The house obviously is customizable. There's costumes. So much stuff is customizable. So that's really cool. And his 10th point and last point, something that I agree with, he really, really enjoyed the beta. So that's cool. Now, one thing that I don't know, and I don't think they are, but wouldn't it be cool if those were generated versions of other people's plots? So as you're going around here, instead of these generic, everybody's got the same plot over there, it just picked random people's plots and sort of put them in the sky. Wouldn't that be cool? So here's my house, just so you can see. Yay, look at that. That's my house. Yeah, I haven't done much to it yet. Like I said, I've been busy in the world. So let's get back to it here and show you off the last few bits of Thade before the end of the show here. I really like Thade as it's laid out. Ilium is just such a more organized city that it doesn't fit with me. It's just not my sort of thing. Let me mount up here, and I can show you sort of the last little areas here. Show you the garden. So that's it for our Nexus Hub. We just want to talk about our sponsors real quick. Doghouse Systems. They are the most fantastic, the most awesome, the most great system builders out there. Carrie from Lotra Reporter has a Doghouse system. It is fantastic. She loves it. She really can't stop raving about it. It is just fantastic. It is really, really powerful. It was a great price, and she has done nothing but talk great things about Doghouse Systems. So if you want to have the same experience with your friends and want to be inundated with requests to see your cool new PC, then you want to check out doghousesystems.com. When you get there and you order the system, use the coupon code MMOReporter, and you can get double your RAM for free. So they'll double your RAM. You'll get 16 for the price of 8 gigs. All right, and last but not least, Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/MMOReporter, and you can sign up for a free trial. Now, the cool thing about it is you'll sign up for a plan where you get one audiobook per month, but you get the first month free. So you'll get an audiobook for free, and then you can cancel at any time, so you don't have to keep going if you don't want to. So if you just want to try it out, see what it's like before you pay anything, you can do that. All you need is a valid credit card, sign up for it, and you can try it out. So audibletrial.com/MMOReporter. For when you run out of podcasts, Audible is where I go to when I want to listen to something and I'm out of podcasts for my drive to work. It is absolutely awesome. All right, so that's pretty much our show. We've given you a quick tour of Thade here as we've been running around. You can contact us. Just check out the website at MMOReporter.com. Check us out on Facebook at Facebook.com/MMOReporter. Check out our email at wildstar@MMOReporter.com. Check us out on Twitter at WildStarPodcast. Or you can send us a voicemail at 616-666-6778, or you can just click the widget on the right side of the website. And please check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/MMOReporterNetwork. You can find the video version of this podcast. You can find all sorts of things and all of our other WildStar videos, including my mount video and some ship hand missions that I have been recording and stuff like that. So go check it out there. Thanks, everyone, for coming out and watching the live recording of the show. I really appreciate it. It's a lot of fun to do these shows with you as I get used to doing a video podcast. Thank you so much for bearing with me. Thanks for downloading the podcast or watching it on YouTube. We hope that you download the podcast again next week, but most importantly, we hope to see you in game. All right, that is the show for now. And now I need to jump and create some characters.